Hi, folks. I've got an absolutely fantastic guest with me today. Very, very privileged to have on David Coulter, better known as the Silver Fox Hot Takes. That's right, David, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Started that way. It's the hair. It's the hair's the giveaway. You see.
So, for those people who don't know, David the Silver Fox, he's got this fantastic YouTube channel, got about 65,000 subscribers, very popular, and you're putting out videos all day. In fact, you're prolific, David, aren't you?
That's because I don't have a life. I retired a couple of years ago after 35 years being an accountant,
Right.
and thought, do you know what? I've got time. I'll do this. Well, it's addictive, isn't it? And so I just sit here and I go, "What's the latest story?" I have a news feed. I go,
Yeah.
"That's terrible." And so I get up there and I was like, "Blah blah 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 blah." And so just do me videos. That's what I do all day, and I love what I do.
Because you're
When you love
doing
it, it's not a job, is it?
No, you're doing like 20 a day or something, aren't you?
Yeah, something like that.
It's phenomenal, and you're getting amazing views. I think it's the most prolific output I've ever seen from anybody on YouTube. I mean, fantastic. How have you taken to doing that then? I mean, have you really enjoyed it?
I love it. I mean, I think it is the best. I know I can't even call it a job, but it's the best job I've ever had. And
Yeah,
I've had some good jobs. I worked, for a house builder for one house builder for 23 years,
yeah.
very senior in there, and that was a man of importance and respected and all that. But it was a very stressful job.
Mhm.
Now it's like, what am I having for lunch? That's my biggest stress. Almost my biggest stress, which we're going to touch on in a minute, I
Yeah, I
suspect.
think we are. We
Yeah.
are. Now, obviously, David's got, for people who don't know, folks, he's got, very, what would I say, forthright views, which, I agree with virtually everything that he says. I don't listen to 20 a day, but I do listen to a few.
Yeah.
And this got you in trouble recently, and you were arrested, weren't you, David?
Sitting there on a Friday night,
Yeah.
just about 9 o'clock or so, there's a knock at the door. I actually thought it was an Amazon parcel being delivered. Opened the door, and a bunch of policemen there asked me my name, walked in, and arrested me. Section 18 Public Order Act.
Right.
They hadn't liked, well, not that the police hadn't liked, they had, quote, received a complaint
Yes.
about some videos I'd made.
Mhm.
And and so okay, I was taken down the station. I wasn't handcuffed. They were decent about it. Put me in the back of the car. It's fine. I went down the station, did the processing sat in a cell. So I was in the cell from maybe 10:30
Mhm.
till about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They got me out of the cell, put me. I had a sort of 10 minute with the duty solicitor, then put me into a 90-minute interview. So all the way, the wee small hours of the morning, 90-minute interview. And then at the end of that, I had another few minutes with my solicitor, put me back in the cell, and then booted me out. And to be fair, actually brought me home. So I was back home for about 6:30. First thing I did, though, straight out here, boom, I've been arrested, did a video, blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't backing down.
Yes.
Now, the point they'd arrested me for were these 4 videos. One of them, I'd compared the current Chancellor at that time, Olaf Scholz,
Yes.
with a Chancellor, small Austrian chap with a moustache from 80 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was saying the reason I was doing it was no, it was obviously humour because I was saying that Olaf Scholz was saying Germany's not the same as it used to be, and he was blaming all these people that were coming into Germany that weren't Germans.
Mhm.
And so the comparison was there straight away. Oh,
Yes.
yes, because, oh, look, Germany's not the same because of all these people.
Yes.
And so I said, oh, is Germany looking for a final solution again? It was obvious satire.
Yes.
Oh, no, no, you're calling for the death of millions of people.
Oh, ridiculous.
I've never said that, right? I never said that.
Yeah.
Then in 2 videos, I mentioned the words, and I will put the words out in a slightly different order from what I said them, but
Yeah.
it would be rope, lamppost, Starmer, Kier. And they're the 4 words he used. Oh, and apparently in 2 videos, apparently that meant, oh, you're inciting people to go and kill the prime minister.
Which
What? No, I
we have
never
to
said the
say,
words.
you're not doing that. Yes.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's clearly not, and it's clearly I mean, how many times do you say something? Oh, oh, you're so and so, or string them up or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
You're
Yeah.
not calling for the actual murder of people. It's just anyway. We have that, and then there was one, and then one they're really trying to get me on was racism, because
Right.
I was moaning on about illegal
Yeah.
immigrants.
Mhm.
But the real one, yes, I did probably go on a bit about it. But what the point was, it was the illegal part of illegal immigrants,
Yes.
not the immigrant part of illegal
Yes.
immigrants.
Yes.
And my real rant, and if you watch the thing in full, was I was ranting more about the government not stopping this. My anger and ire was against the government.
Yes.
And and they try, but all the way, and this is what was quite telling. All the way through this 90-minute interview, the cop that was interviewing me kept trying to say, "Well, don't you feel that this was inciting this?" No, deny everything. No. Well,
Yes.
don't you feel that someone could watch this and feel that you were telling them? And I was saying, well, I can't help how other people think. I don't control their thoughts, but I'm not doing this with intent. There's no mens rea from my side. There was no intent for that. I'm just calling it as I see it. And a lot of the things I'm saying are actually factually true.
Yes.
Said what other people think, but they kept desperately trying to trick me
Yes.
into admitting that I was inciting people.
Right.
And I didn't. And I didn't fall for it. And at the end of it, actually, my solicitor said, "You did very well there. You didn't admit anything." So now it's in the hands of the CPS. I'm bailed to reappear on the 1st of May.
Yes.
I've been in contact with the Free Speech Union.
Yes.
Funnily enough, the other day, and I got I'll show you this so you can see it. Got my pin from the Free Speech Union.
Fantastic.
Gold pin. Anyway, so I've been there, and I'm just waiting to hear now with the legal things, but I'm going to stay not guilty all the way through.
Yes.
And then, of course, I don't know if you saw the news yesterday about the changing in rules.
Yes.
About me being white is going to be a very big disadvantage if I have to go to court.
Yes. Now,
but I've been in contact with my solicitor on this one, and she says, no, don't you worry about that. They have the rules for the pre-sentencing reports. She said we can get you on 2, 3. There's 7 grounds for pre-sentencing reports.
Right.
So that's even if you're found guilty.
Yes.
But if you're found innocent, obviously you will. But if you're found guilty, we'll get them in, and we'll get 7 pre-sentencing reports. Mm-hmm. So fingers crossed on that one.
Are you allowed to talk about it like this? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Only in the generic term. I can't go into specifics, and I can't tell you my defence.
Yes,
for obvious reasons.
So
I'm not going to talk about the defence, but I can say generically I have 7 areas for pre-sentencing reports if I'm found guilty.
Yeah, and so you're allowed to say what you've just said there about what they were talking to you about.
They're in public record, so yes. I've actually removed the videos.
Yes,
but that was under legal advice. But since they'd already been out and they're in the public domain, I can talk about. But I can't talk about specifically charges against them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So what could you end up? I mean, could you end up being go to jail?
3 years?
No.
Yeah.
Really? So
possibly.
How are you feeling about that?
I can't answer that question. Nothing personal.
No.
Legal. I can't because of I want to answer it, but if I said what I want to say, it could scupper any kind of legal defence. So I can't. I don't want to be a tease on it, but I daren't do that. I've got things I've got to cover. Yeah,
we don't want.
I'm not. I don't want to put it that way, but we're looking at various things.
Yeah, I thought they'd just let you go.
Well, that's one of the options is the CPS drop it because I haven't admitted anything. Yes. So the case is going to be automatically weaker.
Yes.
And that's what that's what my solicitor says.
Yes.
But we're retaining a barrister just in case they don't.
That's so weird. And has it put you off going out and, recording every day?
No, it strengthened me.
Right.
Because of one of the things that I've learned through the conversation I had with the policeman is that this wasn't lots and lots of people complaining about what I'd said. Yes. And indeed, other YouTubers have said, hit this guy, talking about me, he says exactly the same as what everyone else says.
Yeah.
They've just picked on him. But it turns out it's one person, and the rumor is it's one person from a political party,
Really? God.
or at least connected to a political party. Yeah, it's been targeted.
It's fine.
If that's the case, and I do go and I plead innocent, they have to put that person on the stand.
Really. It's
Yeah, and then that person becomes there.
so
So
frightening. Sorry to interrupt. We had that grandmother the other day who put the stuff on Facebook or whatever it was,
yeah,
and stuff. I mean, you're just expressing a personal opinion. I mean, and then of course you had Starmer going on in America saying, we're proud of freedom of speech and this
yeah,
that. It's very bizarre what's going on in this country. It's alarming, isn't it?
it is alarming. I am taking precautions, which I've already said elsewhere, so it's not a secret.
Yeah.
Is that I'm opening up a company in the States,
Yes.
um, and I'm going to be transferring the ownership of my channel to this American company,
Yes.
so that I only become a contributor to the channel,
Yes.
but the company in the States will be the publisher.
Yes.
And that way, if anyone says anything, oh, I don't like that, and they go back, what they'll have to do is go back to this American company
Yes.
and deal with them. But of course, they will be protected under the First Amendment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to have to do. Yeah.
What a weird scenario, because were you always political before when you were doing your more normal?
I've been a political animal since I was about 8 years of age. Yeah. My whole life. Yeah.
Should we be asking you who you're voting for? Are you a reform man?
I will tell you, I've been conservative all my life
Yes.
until about a year ago.
Yes.
And you know exactly who I'm voting for.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Farage at the moment? He's getting a bit of stick, isn't he? Maybe people are a bit disappointed with the whole Tommy TR thing that is going on, and
He's walking a tightrope. He can't be seen.
yeah,
He can't be seen to backing him. I don't think he's got anything personally against him. I really don't. I just think, I mean, Tommy Robinson has never said anything about joining reform or anything like that.
okay.
But I think Farage is walking a very thin line because he can't give ammunition to his opponents by saying, "Oh, Tommy Robinson's a hero" and all that, because they'll just throw that straight back at him.
Yes.
But then he's going to get a bit of slack from people who are Tommy Robinson supporters for saying, "Well, why aren't you coming out and supporting him?"
Yes.
He's on a really thin line. You've got to give him that. You've got to accept real politic,
Yes.
and that is real politic for him.
Yeah. How are you feeling about our beloved Kier Starmer these days?
Oh, as a YouTuber, he's value for money, isn't he? I could sit all day and just do video. But of course, you've got to throw other subjects in.
Yes.
But I mean, the guy, he's a Marxist.
Yes.
He's anti-British. He loathes this country.
Yes.
I think everything he's doing is deliberately destructive.
Yeah.
For this country. And I also think he is absolutely angling and desperate to have a war. I think he wants a war. And even though Trump's working, to try and end it and have this peace deal, you still see Starmer still itching to get a war on.
I know. He wants the troops on the ground, and I really can't understand this whole thing. I mean, who wants to put their son and daughter into that kind of meat grinding scenario? I just,
no one.
I'm a huge supporter of Trump. I don't care anybody who knows it. I love Donald Trump. I think it's what he's trying to. All he's trying to do is stop a war, and then you've got all the Europeans, criticizing him because and they want to keep going with this war, a war they cannot win, that they won't send their own sons and daughters out to fight for. So I find Starmer's position absolutely unbelievable. I mean, and we don't even have an army these days.
I served. I was in the army.
Oh, were you?
And I'll tell you now, nobody who wears a uniform or has ever worn a uniform wants a war.
No. What did you do in the army then?
I was in. For those who know, I was in 156 Battery, 94 Locating Regiment, Royal Artillery.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Loved it. Yeah, in and out. 3 years in and out.
Well, you served.
Had some good times, had some bad times, but that's military life, as anyone who's ever served knows.
yeah.
You've had some moments that will last with you forever,
Mhm.
and then you've had some great laughs, and then you've been times when you're sitting there freezing your your back end off, and guard duty at 3 o'clock in the morning, snowing. You're like, oh God,
Yeah. That's
But yeah,
that you've done that, but then you've
yeah.
moved on into other things. So now you're this political guru, and we do want to remind people, folks, do some.
Guru. Oh God, help us.
Well, you are. You know what? I think it's quite interesting. Well, I watched one of your ones the other day. You're not scared to really give it to somebody, are you?
Oh no, I speak my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no holding back with you, David, is there?
No, I call it as I see it, and you either like it or you don't. And if you like it, excellent. If you don't,
Yeah.
let me know in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Uh, are you a Trump man as well? Do you like Trump?
I'm very pro-Trump. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he's done it.
He's a realist. The man is a realist.
And the Dems are really disgracing themselves like they did in Congress last night, the night before, whenever it was. Unbelievable. Not clapping at it.
Oh, with the little black lad
Yeah, yeah.
booing a cancer survivor, and there he is. And you think the Dems would know better because he's one of theirs, as it were. And black support is very important for the Democrats.
Yes.
And there they are booing this young lad who's just come through. Was it brain cancer or
Yeah.
something?
5 operations.
And boo to you for surviving. I mean, how are they ever going to expect to win the black vote again? I tell you what, they've just handed the Republicans the next presidency because you don't need to do any kind of political advert. You
No.
just show the picture
Yeah.
and play the video
That's
of
it.
the Dems booing that boy. Go, don't vote for them.
No, I mean it's absolutely heartless, absolutely heartless. So I was going to ask you again, what do you feel about the British public? I have a feeling because I've attended many rallies over the years for various different subjects that we don't really stand up for ourselves very much. So what's refreshing about you is that you will stand up for what you believe. But why are we as British? Why do we take all of this crap all the time?
Why aren't the British more like the French?
Oh God, yes.
You know, we do. We just let it wash over us, don't we? We don't like it. We sit there. We go down the pub. You moan about that. Moan, 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 moan. But you won't get on the street. You won't let people know. You won't block ports. You won't block things. I mean, if we were France and something was coming, we'd be at Calais blocking the ports. We'd be burning lorries and doing all this sort of thing.
Rain,
The French have a long history of revolution,
yeah.
but we've had no revolution for 400 years. I think perhaps we're overdue one, maybe. But,
Yeah, we
for
don't.
some reason, Brits are just a bit
Right,
lazy.
I know to revolution, but I mean, I do you think Starmer's going to last? Do you think he'll get through the full term?
Not a chance.
No.
He'll be gone, but he won't be. He won't be gone by external forces. It'll be his own backbenchers taking him down.
Yeah.
And ironically, the failings of, and I've said this before, the failings of Angela Rayner.
Yeah.
She's going to fail in everything she does, but I think she's got enough support in the party who see the truth.
Yes.
And that is that Starmer, because they loathe each other, of course. Starmer's loaded her with all failing policies, things that can't possibly happen, in order to belittle her. But I think she's got enough support there that everyone sees what's happening. She sees that she's been given these various poison chalices, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
And so even though she's going to fail in everything, it will be seen as him failing her, not her failing the policies. And already there's murmurs. We all know there's murmurs in the backbenches that it can't go on because they all know that they're out at the next election unless things change very quickly. I think come the May election, he'll be gone. They'll just keep him there till May so they can use him as the scapegoat, say, right, that's it, you're out. Yeah. Then whoever comes in doesn't have this huge May election to face as a defeat.
Yes, yeah. What a pompous man he is. What a pompous man.
Oh, he's so up his own arse, isn't he? And what annoys me is they've all got the same voice. Him, Reeves, and Ed Miliband. They've all got the same voice, haven't they?
Yeah.
We will go this way. They're like androids.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they're not real. That's the thing. Look, David, I don't want to keep you too long because I know that you've got to do, another 55 pieces today, so you've got to get through them. So, but tell the public out there, so they can subscribe to you. Where do they subscribe, and what do they do?
Well, the channel Silver Fox Hot Takes. It's basically a political channel. I throw the occasional humorous one in.
Yeah.
It's me getting annoyed
Mhm.
at politicians generally, and I pick on them all, predominantly anti-Labour because they happen to be in power.
Mhm.
But if the Tories were in power, it'd be anti-Tory. It's whoever's in power gets it because they're the ones making decisions about you and me.
Yeah.
And 99% of those times, those decisions are wrong.
Mhm.
Occasionally, they're right. And I will say, when my God, they've got this right, I'm actually agreeing with someone.
Yeah.
Uh, but basically, they are an elite, a self imposed elite against us.
Mhm.
I want to rip them a new corn shoot. And it's usually politicians, but it'll be figures in industry,
Mhm.
local government, whatever it is, health services,
Mhm.
police. But it's people in authority who deserve to be looked at and ripped apart because what they're doing is 9 times out of 10 wrong,
Mhm.
damaging, and anti the public's better health, if you like.
Totally agree, and we need people like yourself, who are an alternative voice, because in America, especially under Trump, they're welcoming all the YouTube and the alternative voice and all that, and we have the most rotten media over here. I mean, I don't know if you've still got your BBC license. Are you still subscribing?
I don't watch television, so I have no need for a TV license.
Well, that's
I
brilliant.
only watch YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I only watch.
I'm making that very clear.
Absolutely. Well, look, I really
Yeah.
appreciate speaking to you, David. And in actual fact, you're only up the road from me, so hopefully we'll meet in person at some point.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I won't give addresses, but for people who don't know, we're literally about 4 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Well, which
Yeah,
is nice to know.
the East Midlands is now the Hollywood
Yeah,
of YouTube, isn't it?
absolutely. So, folks, yeah, do subscribe to David's channel, Hot Takes. Very entertaining. Puts out 20 videos a day, and he certainly knows what he's talking about. So, we'll see you soon, folks.
Thank you very much. Been an absolute pleasure. And to everyone who's watched this video, cheers and goodbye.